Welcome to the very first episode of the Agent P Show. Your host here, Phillip Salem, or as everyone calls me, Agent P. I'm your NYC and LA-based real estate agent known as hashtag the Bicoastal Baddie, now also with the podcast where all are welcomed. My first guest could not be a more fitting person to have on this inaugural episode of the Agent P Show. This show is all about uplifting people and hearing stories from highly influential people in my life. And my next guest story is one of determination and success filled with dreaming big and pushing boundaries. Truly, the foundations I strive to live my life like. He is a huge inspiration and someone I look up to very fondly. His mission is to help everyone find their place in the world, doing so without an ego. He's a philanthropist, an author, a leader, an innovator, a game changer. The person I'm speaking of is the founder and CEO of the #1 real estate brokerage in the country, Compass. His name is Robert Reffkin, and he's sitting right next to me. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm glad to be here. My voice is a little bit, I lost it a little bit this week, but I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
We can still hear you. Thank you for coming on this show with me. You know, this story that we're going to have for the next 15 minutes, it's hard to scratch the surface because you've accomplished so much in your life. And like I said, the show is about influencing people, and I don't only want it to be educational, but I also want it to be inspiring. So everyone who knows me knows Compass is not only my brokerage for real estate, but one of the main reasons why I'm actually in the industry. This episode is fittingly titled, Why Compass? And I want this episode to not only be educational for those watching, but also give people a boost of life, as I feel what we talk about will go beyond real estate. So I want to first congratulate you, the #1 brokerage in the country. How does that make you feel? And what type of pressure do you have to continue this massive success?
Yes, so at Compass, we are the #1 real estate brokerage by sales volume for 3 years in a row, well over 30,000 agents and employees. But #1 by sales doesn't really motivate me or inspire me. What I want us to be able to do is, I view you as the client. I work for agents, not the other way around. And I want Compass to improve the lives of agents so much that people don't remember what life was like before.
Yeah.
And my mom's a real estate agent. She's an agent at Compass today. She's been an agent the majority of my life. And so it's very personal for me. So it means a lot that you feel so positively about Compass. And yeah.
So success for me is defined by being happy. Mm-hmm. There's a picture of us on the screen that you're going to see right here. This is from us when I came. It was one of the Compass parties. I went to the Compass holiday party in New York, and then I flew to LA for that one. And I just can't have a place where I feel so welcomed. You know, I was at a brokerage before this. I came to Compass for one day, and then I went back because I was so overwhelmed. I was like, I can't deal with all this technology. I went back, and then I came back to Compass, and I can't see myself anywhere else. But I just want to say Compass to me is all about feeling welcomed and somebody who looks like me and acts like me. And I throw out all these ideas about marketing, and they're kind of crazy. And it's like, Phillip, just be you, because that's who the client is attracting. So I just want to say thank you for making me feel so welcomed and being a part of the Compass community.
Yeah, look, for me, one of the core principles of Compass is building a company where everyone feels like they belong, where everyone can be their authentic self. I think if you're not your authentic self, then you can't be your best self. And for me, I felt out of place the majority of my life. I'm Black, I'm Jewish, single parent family, and other things like that. So I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
It's important to me.
This is kind of a question to go off of what you just said, and I love having loaded questions. So you say that your mission is to help everyone find their place in the world. What hardships did you have to overcome to find your place, and how does this motto translate in real estate and beyond real estate?
Yeah. Well, I'm from Berkeley, California.
Okay.
My mom is Israeli. She was born in Israel. Moved to New York when she was 7, and then her father was so mean. So actually, I've never said
we don't
that
like
way.
mean people.
Yeah, we don't like mean. Yeah, and I think she was a tomboy. Actually, he never really gave her love, and ultimately disowned her because my father was Black, and so when I was born, my grandfather asked only one question, not is he happy, not is he healthy.
Wow.
Just what is he? And when my mom said that he's Jewish and black, he never spoke to her again. And to his deathbed and to my grandmother's deathbed, they never spoke to my mom again.
Wow.
And so having just being my mom my entire life, because my father was abusive to himself, he was abusive to others. He actually died homeless when I was young. It was really just me and her against the world.
Wow.
And so then I went to New York City. I felt New York City is a place where anyone belongs. It's the most diverse city in the country.
Yeah.
More languages spoken than any other city in the world. But then even New York City, I realized it's very segregated. And so I've just been on this constant journey. For me, Compass is, I guess, similar to what it is to you. It's a place where I feel like I could belong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So how does that motto, where everyone help find their place in the world, translate for real estate specifically?
Yeah, so our mission is to help everyone find their place in the world. We believe a home isn't just a home, it's a neighborhood, it's a community. It provides a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
And it really matters. And so that's kind of the overall philosophy. And of course, our agents are the best in the world. People like you, the best. And I think that agents, as well as the company, when we help someone find their home, it really, it's a big responsibility that we take seriously.
Yeah. So continue speaking about Compass. What do you think makes Compass stand out, and how does tech play such a big role? And I already know the answer to this question, people. I can answer this for him, but I want you to answer it coming from the CEO.
Yeah, so I believe there's high tech and high touch. And a lot of brokerage companies are either high tech or either high touch. We want to be both, because that's what the ultimate client, the buyer and seller, deserves. And so on the technology side, we invested $1.6 billion. Oh
my gosh.
Yeah, in
$1
building.
billion.
Yeah, that's a lot. Billion with a B, to build an end-to-end platform that helps agents better serve their buyers and sellers. There are over 700 software providers that sell all these tools to agents every day. And so the average agent has to log into 11 different companies to do their job. Here at Compass, we've made it so that they can log into one. And then on the high touch side, that's traditional client service, eyes on eyes, face to face, a personal service, helping their buyer sellers navigate this very complex process.
To me, Compass, when people said it's high tech, high touch, I was like, how is that making sense? I do, the majority of my day is on the Compass app.
Oh, wow.
Everything from the tours to the CMAs to communicating, navigating the real estate market with my clients is just unparalleled to anything that I've ever seen. And it's changed the way that I do business for the better. So it's just an unbelievable way to merge the two together, tech and real estate. So, I was listening to this podcast, and I think it actually helped inspire me to do this podcast, because when somebody tries to tell me that my job, isn't what it is, or they try to tell me what a real estate agent does, you just posted something about 111 things that a real estate agent does. Mm-hmm. Oh, you have to do 111 things, or you can just find an agent.
Yeah.
So I actually have that list here.
Oh, great.
and I'm gonna have you set this timer for me. We're gonna set this timer. I'm gonna try to read as many as possible. So let me just do that. So all you gotta do is push start. I'm gonna try to read as many of these 111 things to do that a real estate agent does in 60 seconds. So tell me
3, 2, 1.
Research the real estate industry and legal services to understand what's available to you, including the entire process. Check the eligibility for a down payment. Learn about local home prices, inventory, and market demand in your desired area. Ensure that all personal and financial information remains confidential to mitigate the risk of identity theft. Consider all home ownership wants and non-negotiable needs. Set your budget and be mindful of the complete cost of home ownership. Establish and adhere to a schedule for house hunting, mortgage approval, and closing.
30 more seconds.
30 more seconds. I'm only on number 8. Establish and adhere to all closing schedules for house hunting, mortgage approval, and closing to meet your desired timeline. Scout listings online and marketplaces. Contact home ownerships in desired areas to see if they are considered selling. Virtual preview properties that you're interested in. Schedule multiple in-person home viewings by contacting each listing agent.
It's 9.
Gather and assess quality
7,
lenders.
6.
Familiarize yourself with the mortgage pre-approval process. Pay for professional comparative market analysis. Consider hiring a real estate attorney. And there's, a million more to do. But I just kind of wanted to get that out there because I think people see it's like, oh, real estate agents open doors or they just show apartments. Like the complexities behind selling real estate. I had no idea about the co-op market or home inspections in LA.
I think there's a bigger misconception about what real estate agents do than any other profession I know.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people may mistakenly think they just open doors or find a property, but ultimately what real estate agents are doing is they are project managers of a highly complicated, multi-month process where they are managing what can be over a dozen different stakeholders from end to end. And it's a highly complicated project management.
Yeah.
111 things.
I think it should be 1,111 things. I honestly don't think people realize everything that goes into it. And there's so many things that we do that they don't even know about, but that's what makes you a professional.
Yeah.
You do things that are, uncomfortable, or you do things that are pushing what you're supposed to be doing just to get a sale closed, whether it be the buyer or the seller side.
And 90% of buyers actually do use an agent. And so at least 90% of people know the value.
Yeah. Which is
They'll
a high
find out
percentage.
eventually. Yeah, exactly.
You started this initiative at Compass called Back to Basics. Can you just give me a 30-second to 60-second rundown on what that means?
So Back to Basics was a challenge to our real estate agents, our real estate professionals, to spend more time in person with their clients. I think a lot of people, because of COVID, are spending less time with people.
Yeah.
And they are on the phone or on a Zoom call. And we believe deeply that to be the best at client service, you have to be in person.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for a newcomer in the industry, if you could give any advice?
Yeah, my best advice would be to find someone that you can work with, to partner with. It doesn't have to mean that you are full-time partnering with them, but it's an apprenticeship business. You have to learn from somebody. And so find the right person to learn from. That's an agent. Then the right sales manager, and of course the right company.
Yeah.
Compass.
Compass always. When people ask me if I would switch to any brokerage, it's always an automatic no. If it weren't for Compass, I wouldn't be in the industry, honestly, because...
That's a big compliment. Thank you.
No, but it's true because the way that we do business and when I mentioned in the intro, you help everyone find their place in the world without ego. The biggest motto that I hear all the time is collaboration without ego here. Yeah. So why do you think that is a core value at Compass?
So we have 8 entrepreneurship principles at Compass. One of them is collaborate without ego. Look, this is, I think professionally and personally. Professionally, real estate agents, it may be one of the most collaborative transactions that exist in that are out there.
Yeah.
Because you as an agent, you're coordinating between the loan officer, the title officer. You're collaborating with the agents on the other side. You're collaborating with the photographer, the painter, the stager. So it's just that from a professional standpoint. But on a personal standpoint, I think collaborating makes everything fun.
Yeah.
And when people are on the opposite of collaborating, it is so unpleasant. And so,
and when egos are involved, it's even worse.
It's even worse, yeah.
I just have a few more questions because I know you're a busy person and I see the timer going down. We got 2 minutes. But one of the biggest passions that I have is animal rescue. And I also think one of the ways that you inspire me is all the philanthropy work that you do. I read that you have a book out that everybody should know about, No One Succeeds Alone, that you donated all the proceeds to nonprofits helping young people realize their dreams. So can you speak upon some of the philanthropy work that you do?
Yeah, so I benefited a lot from nonprofits as a kid. It was just me and my mom. And so when I became in my 20s, I started running 50 marathons, one in each state, once a month effectively, to raise $1 million for the nonprofits I went through when I was younger. So A Better Chance, Summer Search, Summer Bridge, SEO. These are some of the examples. There's 7 organizations.
Wow.
And I founded a nonprofit called New York Needs You. It's now America Needs You. It helps in multiple states students who are first in their families to go to college and who are also low income. and it gives them career development, college support, and 2 summer internships.
Oh my gosh. How do you oversee all that? It's a lot.
Well, I founded it, and now I'm just on the board. We have a great board. We have a national board. We have local boards. We have a great management team.
Nice. I always like to end an episode. It's called Philly's 5, just to get a little bit more like, I don't know, little questions that people might not know about you. So we got 30 seconds, and I'm gonna just list off 5 questions, and you just got to tell me what the first thing comes to mind. So I read somewhere that you were a big DJ in your past. Do you still have visions of DJing, or do you secretly DJ that we don't know about? Like,
well, me and my wife, we DJ on the weekends every once in a while.
Okay, nice.
But not. I mean, DJ with Spotify.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
But no, I don't think I'll be a DJ again. That time has passed.
Got it. Who's your favorite singer?
Singer, like really singer. I mean, I love Bill Withers and like Lovely Day. I love Stevie Wonder. I like really happy music.
Okay.
Positive
like that.
music. Yeah.
Cool. What's your favorite restaurant in New York?
Oh, so there's a place called Shabu Tatsu.
Okay.
It's in the East Village. It's a lot of fun. Trust me, go.
Okay.
Shabu Tatsu.
Tatsu.
Yeah.
What's your morning routine?
Morning routine, coffee,
okay,
and kids.
Coffee and kids, and evening routine. After work's done, what do you like to do?
Done, I mean, kids for sure. But I think my wife sometimes just we'll watch comedy specials.
Okay.
We like comedy, like live comedy.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
What's the best thing that's happened to you today?
Well, this is really fun.
Look at that.
You're such a positive, nice, kind person, and I'm really happy to be here to hear you say how much Compass means to you, and that's the reason I work so hard. And so
you always say that when I came to Compass, one of the biggest draws for me was you become the CEO of your own company. Yeah. So we have 2 CEOs sitting on the stage right now, but Robert's the big CEO. But it's just an amazing thing. Robert, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. Before we leave, I'd love to give you some flowers courtesy of Pop-Up Florist. Pop-Up Florist is a female-owned company creating feel-good flowers with innovative designs. And to all those tuning in, you can get a discount at popupflorist.com by using coupon code TheAgentP Show at checkout. Pop-Up Florist ships nationwide. Robert, here are your flowers. Literally and figuratively, you deserve them. Just a little something to say
nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Before we end the show, I want you to give people some last words. Just what's your motto or inspiration that people can just leave the show with?
Oh, so much out there. Look, I think the motto of the moment for me is I just think it's so important that we connect more emotionally with people, and I think the phones and Zoom calls, I think they can be deceiving to make us feel like we're connecting. We're not. Let's the more happiness we talked about. That is, to me at least, it's about relationships and experiences. And relationship experiences that comes from being in person. Yeah. And so I'm happy to be here with you in person, and let's all spend as much time with people in person as possible.
I love that. If you are a Compass agent, you don't understand the inspiration that we get from Robert weekly, daily. So thank you so much for that little snippet for us. To continue following Robert and Compass, follow Robert Reffkin and @Compass on IG. Thank you for listening, and catch you on the next episode of The Agent P Show. Mwah.